Alright everybody, it's the HP version of Ryobi Days. So I'm going to call it Ryobi HP Days. Now, just like last year, you're going to get a 6, a 4, and a 2. And they're all going to be the high output batteries. You're going to get a litany of tools. Now, I was kind of looking around and browsing. I think unofficially Ryobi Days has started, but I think some of these tools, some of the tool offerings may change, you know, whenever it officially starts on the 22nd. And I will show you what I mean in just a moment. So anyway, we're going to kind of go through these tools one at a time, and we're going to go over the price. So sit back for a minute, and I got something to show you. Alright, first up we're going to look at is the right angle die grinder. Now, if I'm not mistaken, my boys over there at the Torque Test channel, shout out, shameless plug, have sort of put this to the test, and it's sort of the most powerful of these right angle die grinders currently offered by most of the brands that they have tested so far. It just keeps on, the power just keeps on coming no matter how much they put it up against. Now, this is going to be 8520, not a bad price. It's going to bring the batteries down to 11380, for a chance to get, a nice bag. The HP bags are much nicer than the bags that they used to offer. Again, you still get the regular charger. It'd be nice if they gave you that, maybe if they made it like 250 and they gave you that nice dual bay quick fast charger. Excuse me. But anyways, bringing the batteries down to 11380, not bad for a 6, a 4, and a 2 high output battery, or an HP battery, high performance. The reason why I said I don't think some of these are being offered yet, or the deal is not officially active, is because this is an offering. As you see here, it says Ryobi Days, but it's not in the promo, meaning you cannot select this as one of the tools. Now, you'll see that the base price is the MSRP for the tool only option is $149. That is the same MSRP offering, or MSRP for the right angle die grinder at $149. So unless they adjust this price at all, you can assume that you're going to be paying $85.20 for the chainsaw, the pruning saw. Now, I will preface this: they advertise on the box and in the store and online that there's no oil. There's no oil reservoir. I know they had that 10-inch saw, maybe it was an 8-inch saw. Kind of an old saw. It had a bulb on it that you could sort of press to squirt some bar oil on the bar and chain. This does not have that. Now, they'll say it's bar oil free, as in it doesn't need any bar oil. Like you don't have to put anything on it. But if you read the manual, it tells you on there to add bar and chain oil as needed. So again, I would not recommend using this for extended periods of time without lubing it up at all, because you're just creating a bunch of friction. And having a little squirt bottle, maybe one of those condiment bottles, and you just kind of squirt on there, some on there as you go, especially if you're doing some larger jobs that take a little more time to chop everything up. But I haven't seen any reviews on this. I'm anxious to get my hands on it and do a review on it. And definitely something to have around the house for smaller limbs and stuff. You can hold this with one hand. It's not like a reset where you got to kind of hold it with two. With this one, you can sort of hold the branch, in place, to cut while you're using this one with your other hand. And I think this is definitely going to be a winner chicken dinner. All right, next up we've got the 4 3/4 gallon wet dry vacuum. This is 18 volt. It takes the 18-volt battery, of course. Got the stainless steel drum. Going to be a little bit on the small side, which if you've got this hooked up to a sander or a saw, maybe You can kind of buy an extension hose as well and connect that to there. And with these wheels and it being as small as it is, you can easily transport it and carry it around with you. And pretty much be mobile, totally mobile. If you want to sand something outside, you don't have to worry about plugging anything in. You just carry this out here with you. You carry your tool, you hook everything up, and you can use it for dust extraction. Well, I guess you wouldn't necessarily do it outside, but just hypothetically, if you were on the job site where you didn't want to have to worry about running a bunch of cords to a generator or a power source, that's an option for you as well. Again, pretty mobile. 130, 246 for the batteries, and 66.54 for the vacuum. I can't remember if they had this available last year or not, for Ryobi Days, but this is going to be the new HP 18 volt, 18 gauge brad nailer, brushless, top of the line HP high performance. I probably wouldn't use a 4 or 6. That 2 should work nicely for this nailer. $96.94 for the nailer and $102.06 for the batteries. Great, definitely a great price. $100 for 3 batteries, a charger, and a bag. Not bad. But again, you don't have to return any of this stuff. But I do know, at $200, it does start to get kind of pricey for the price. Those who are more price conscientious. I'm going to stop saying that word before I butcher it even more. All right, next up, we got the brushless hammer drill, the new HP hammer drill. I don't know how many versions of that hammer drill that they make, but I'm pretty sure this is the top of the line hammer drill. $78.24 for the drill, $120 for the batteries, or again, $199 for both. Next up, we got the extended reach 1/4" brushless HP ratchet. Again, this is you can still pivot the head 4 position, 90, 180, and all the way back around, and kind of get that battery out of the way for some more, for better access, depending on the fastener you're trying to get at. Don't know if they have we're going to see if they have a 3/8 inch ratchet, but for now, 1/4 inch ratchet, 91.39 extended reach, 107.61 for the batteries. All right, this is the impact driver brushless HP, of course. This is not their top tier impact driver. This is the mid tier. The top tier one has I think it's 4 modes. The bottom tier is that sort of where it has the plastic housing around the anvil. That one also is not is variable speed, but there's no speed selector. There's no speed selector on this one, but at least you got the metal box up there around the anvil, or the cover over the anvil. Makes it a little more durable. And then, of course, that top of the line has the speed selector and everything with it. But still a great impact driver. $61.96 and $137 for the batteries. All right, good. They do offer the 3/8 inch extended reach ratchet. They're the same price. It's the same price as the 1/4 inch. So unless you absolutely need the 1/4 inch ratchet, I think this 3/8 inch is probably going to be a little bit more versatile. It's probably going to, serve most people's needs as opposed to that 1/4 inch. If there was a price difference, I could probably see, but it'd have to be, at least $20 difference for me personally to consider that 1/4 inch. But 107 for the batteries, 91 for the extended reach ratchet, and again, it's like its brushed counterpart. The head pivots. It's got the 4 positions. When you pull the collet up at the base of the head. You can sort of spin that ratchet around and, you know, get that battery out of the way. All right, next we got the brushless HP 4.5-inch angle grinder. Definitely going to get more runtime and have a little bit smoother operating tool. The MSRP is $139. The promo takes it down to $81, $84. The batteries for $117, $16. Again, perfect. This tool right here would go perfect with those HP batteries. Get definitely a lot more power and a lot more runtime. You know, especially with the grinder being brushless. This might be a situation where if I need this tool, I'm probably not going to return anything. All right, this is where Ryobi's really kind of starting to make a name for itself with this new offerings of impact wrenches. This is going to be the mid torque, you know, 600 foot-pounds of breakaway nut busting torque. You know, you got the 4 modes, 1/2-inch anvil, and yeah, pretty great all around tool. Seeing a lot of positive reviews, positive things to say about it. You know, it definitely has a lot of power. Definitely, again, recommend you checking out Torque Test channel and see what they thought about the impact wrench. I believe this might be the most expensive. And there's one other tool. It's going to be the most expensive offering for this year's Ryobi Days. But if you don't want the batteries, it's your chance to get the impact wrench for $96.40 or the batteries for $102. But again, you don't have to return anything, and for some cases I wouldn't, because you know you're getting 3 batteries a bag and a charger and a beefy mid torque with the nice tri-beam lights that'll really, you know, illuminate whatever you're getting at, and they're really just all, you know, a great all-around impact wrench. Next up, we got the 7 1/4 circular saw. It's been out for a while. It's one of the original tools they came out with the HP line launched. $81, $84 for the saw, $117, $16 for the batteries. Not gonna harp on this one anymore. I'm having sort of mixed feelings about this. This is supposed to be the HP 3/8-inch impact wrench. It's only advertising 160 foot-pounds of torque. I would not recommend getting this impact wrench. You know, I guess unless you absolutely need it. I think that the mid torque is definitely better, and if I'm not mistaken, the brush version makes 220 foot-pounds of torque. So I just don't see how this makes any sense. It's a very anemic impact wrench, but again, it does have a speed selector. It's got 4 modes, so the tech is there, and I guess it has its application, but for the majority of people, I think they're going to find this a little bit anemic. And this next one, the 5/8-inch SDS rotary hammer, is definitely going to be sort of a, you know, it may or may not have a niche. Not everybody's going to need one of these, but they're kind of nice to have, especially if you use them in the hammer function, you know, with some chisels, maybe trying to break up some concrete or some masonry, you know, some brick or whatever else. Definitely has the power to, you know, drill some holes if you're wanting to, you know, maybe construct a shop or a pole barn or anything like that, and you're trying to drill into some concrete to attach some fasteners. $113.80 for the batteries and $85.20 for the rotary hammer. Next up, we got the cordless compact cutoff tool, $74.47 and $124 for the batteries and tool. This is another monster that the Torque Test channel checked out. Again, it just keeps. It's like there's no bottom to the power. It just keeps on licking. Again, definitely check out their video on that. But anyway, it's been out for a little while. It was near the beginning when they released the HP line. They kind of released this. And then, you know, Rigid came out with theirs. But yeah, definitely check it out. And again, if you're interested, $74.47 again for the tool, $124 for the batteries. All right, now we got the HP one-handed recip. Not much to say about it. Again, came out near the beginning of the HP line. $74.47 for the tool, $124.53 for the batteries. I think it was the same price as the previous tool. All right, next we got the HP jigsaw. Just like the brushed version, this does not have a blower port to kind of blow the dust out of the way as you're working. And the foot or the shoe of this saw is almost identical to the Milwaukee 12 volt jigsaw. Occasionally, I don't think that there's a mechanism that locks it into place, or there is, but over time using it for an extended period of time, it sort of knocks itself loose, and then that shoe or the foot kind of comes undone, and now it's just wiggling around. So you gotta kind of have to keep an eye on that. Haven't used this one that much. I do have it though, so I'm not sure if it's plagued by the same issue. But you know, great jigsaw for 81 bucks, and again 117 for the batteries. And next up, this is relatively new. I don't think it came out all that long ago, but it's the job site hand vacuum, HP brushless. This might be another good tool to have around for dust extraction on a sander or a you know, some fine sawdust that you're using, or maybe some finer tooth blades. Not for heavy duty pickup. It's not picking up giant wood chips. You know, you definitely would not use this with a planer. Not for that at all. This is more for finer sawdust and, you know, in sand and things of that sort. Like I said, I don't think it's been out all that long, but it's $74.47 and $124 for the batteries. But before you jump on this one, I got something else I want to show you. This one right here. I did the video on this. Definitely a very good vacuum. But anyway, and they just came out with these last year. They came out with several. They came out with 2 HP versions, which really they're pretty much the same. It's just the beater bar. You have a dual roller bar versus a single, which this is what this one is. And I believe they had a regular brush version with the single beater bar as well. I have not been hands-on with the brushed version, and I have not used the dual roller bar. And I may do an update video with this vacuum as well. One of the wheels came off the roller bar, or the beater bar down at the bottom at the back. I wasn't able to find the wheel, but it popped off. It still works fine. It's just a little bit cumbersome to use. But anyway, definitely recommend this vacuum at 100 bucks, especially if you've got batteries. The runtime is pretty decent. Don't expect, you know, just to be about average what you would expect for a stick vacuum. You know, one of those Dysons, a V7 or a V8. Runtime is going to be comparable. You've got the option to turn the roller bar or the beater bar off, and you've got the option for a high and a low. It defaults to high when you turn it on. The dust bin is very easy to empty. It's very easy to take the filter out and sort of knock it off and wash it if you need to. All around great vacuum. I highly recommend it. If you're trying to decide between the other stick job or the hand vacuum, you know, spend the extra money and get this, unless you absolutely need that other vacuum. All right, now we got the HP recip saw, 8520 and 11380 for the batteries. I have not used this. I don't know anybody who has one, but I imagine it works. It works great, and it's a pretty good price if you're interested in getting a brushless, you know, recip saw. I think it's got a quick tool change. You just flip the little switch right there behind the shoe, right below the rubber guard right there, and you can quickly change the blades out. And this was definitely kind of weird, but I remember now that they had come out with this HP version with a rotary tool. I think this is going to be for more detail work, and it's probably going to have a little bit more power. I don't know anybody who has it, but this is not an everyday person's kind of rotary tool. And in fact, with that reason, I would recommend the other one over this one. If you're doing a lot of detail work, maybe if your wife has an Etsy store, or sells personalized items, or maybe you do really detail like model work and you do a lot of it, I could see having something like this. But for I think most people, I think the brushed version is probably good enough, especially when that brushed version has some storage on the actual base itself. This one has it comes with a little storage bin that you can put everything in, but that may or may not matter. But if you use this a lot, then you probably want to want a separate storage case anyway. But 8520 is a bit steep, but again, if you're gonna get your use out of this, then it might be worth it. 11380 for the battery, for the batteries. All right, last up, we got the brushless HP multi-tool for a 7827 and 120 for the batteries. They stuck with the design that worked with the brushed version and carried it over to the brushless. You're gonna have a little bit more of a slimmer housing because it's brushless. You're gonna have just as good, if not better, of an ergonomic grip good for extended use, periods of use. Right up there with the DeWalt as far as comfort and ease of use, multi-tool wise. Again, I love my Milwaukee 12-volt fuel multi-tool, but it's just like holding a cylinder. It's okay. I mean, it works fine, but for somebody who's doing some more detailed work, or they need a little bit more finesse, this one's probably going to be more comfortable to use for extended periods of time. Anyway, the link to the batteries we posted below, and then from there you can use the drop box to select the tool that you want. And if they update this at all, including the regular batteries, I'll make another video and with the updated pricing for the added tools, like the chainsaw, the 8-inch or the 6-inch pruning chainsaw. We'll update the video and put a new one out for that. Peace.